Good morning, church. Hi, my name's Kate. I'm based here in Mae Sot on the border of Thailand and Myanmar. And I've been serving here since December. But previously to that, I've been living in Chiang Mai and serving there.
Since December the 16th, war has come very, very close to where our border is, and we've had many civilians crossing who are in desperate need of aid. That's one of the areas we've really been focusing on, meeting their physical need as well as their spiritual need. We're so grateful for all of the donations that have come in so that we're able to be His hands and feet and get this aid to the people.
Hey friends, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a show of what we're up to this morning. So we got a call this morning that some of the IDPs are in desperate need of food. So we're just filling the truck and going to take it out to them today.
So where we're standing is on the Thai border and the other side is Myanmar. Sometimes we're able to put the aid on boats, but other times it has to be hand carried across. These guys are taking it down to go across the river. We were able to buy this tarp in Chiang Mai and transport it down to the border. We cut it up and use it for shelter for those people that are on the run, especially in this time of rainy season. This is me with the local church women going through the donations that we were given from people in Chiang Mai so that we could give them to those in need. Clothes came right at the right time as these people had just run across from the firing on the other side. We really see the value in small groups and cell groups. This is one of the cell groups that we had during the week. I'm so grateful that at this time we've been able to help 60 children get into schooling for the school year. They were so excited to go back to school as Thailand had been online for at least 18 months.
Greetings, Pastor Matt and your beautiful church there, Pentecost Church. Tim and Bronwyn Perry here in Bangkok, Thailand. We're so grateful for your continued support, your financial support, your prayers, and your love for us. Deuteronomy 10 verse 18 says this: He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow and loves the foreigner residing among you, giving them food and clothing. We have found ourselves working in this area of working for the widow, the orphan and the refugee.
In respect to the widow, we actually work with vulnerable families, whether they're actual widows or not. We have got a great program called Keeping Families Together, in which we train denominational leaders to be able to strengthen their churches in order to support the kids, the families in their communities.
Many refugees and asylum seekers have had to flee their own countries due to religious persecution and find themselves here in Thailand, but when they arrive find themselves as illegal immigrants being hunted down by the police. And our organisation, we're working with these people. One family in particular we've been working with for many years, and we've recently been able to celebrate with them as they've begun the process of being able to get to Canada. Please pray for them as this is still a huge process.
We're also working with the Thai government. The Thai government has recently recognised that institutionalized care for children, such as children's homes and orphanages, is not the best way to look after them. In fact, family-based care is where they're heading. So the government has decided to select 4 groups to transition all the children from 4 of their orphanages out to family-based care. And our foundation has been selected as one of those. So we're now responsible for 147 kids from the ages of 0 through to 6 years old to find their parents or other relatives, if not foster homes that they could go to, and transition them to safe and loving families.
God bless you guys. Thank you again. Thank you so much for your support. We love you very much.
Hi Pentecost Church, Kelvin and Beck Windsor here in Da Nang, Vietnam. We just want to say a huge hi and hello and introduce you guys to a bit about who we are and what we're doing here.
We as a family are about to celebrate 11 years. At the end of the month here in Vietnam, this one is Kelvin, I'm Beck, and hidden here, because they're at school right now, our daughter Mirabelle, she's about to turn 10, and our son Eliezer, who's about to hit 8.
Yeah, and like Beck said, we've been here 11 years, fully enjoying what God is doing with us and through us here, and seeing the lives impacted here in Vietnam. You know, your support for us means a huge, great deal for us, and comes at a time perfect in God's timing.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of days ago, we got an email from the school saying, you know, school fees are about to increase, and you know, going to have a bit of a harder hit, but we need to kind of do it with all the increases in COVID and all that. And then 2 or 3 days later, we get an email from Pastor Matthew saying, you know what, we want to support you guys. We're looking at connecting with you guys in Vietnam. So we're just blown away by God's perfect timing through it all. And so we really appreciate what you guys are doing for us here and getting behind us and believing in us.
Absolutely. And for us, Vietnam is kind of the center. It's you know, our heartbeat. We live, eat and breathe Vietnam, and you know, think it's kind of the center of the earth. Obviously we're still Australian, but for us Vietnam is our heart country. And if whatever you may know about Vietnam, particularly the central part of Vietnam, is what they call kind of like the spiritual stronghold, which is why we're here. It's the site of the first church, Christian church in Vietnam, and it continues to be the most challenging context, which is why we're still here. But God is not limited by those kinds of things. He is creative, and He gives us creative ways to connect with the people that He loves. And so for us, in our context, our ministry is a mixture of community development, life skills, personal development training, and also disaster relief. And that has been so needed in the last, 2.5 years.
Yeah, you know, Matthew 25 says that if you give a glass of water or a coat off your back to someone, you've done it to the least of these, you've done it to me, Jesus says. And that's what we're based about here, about helping those who are in need, giving them a hand, showing them the love of God in action and in work, you know, not just saying we'll do something, but showing them who God is through the action. We're in a restricted access nation, so we can't go out there and we can't talk about Jesus openly. We can't, pray for people on the streets or anything like that. But God is still doing a work, because God can move no matter where, through how, if we are willing.
Absolutely.
And so we are seeing God move through in communities and in environments. And the whole premise of us being here is to pursue justice, God's justice, His righteousness in the communities, and empowering them, the communities themselves, to rise up, to do something different in their communities, and to be the change that they want to be in their community.
Yeah, it's all, and for us, our ethos is all about community-led development. It's not about, a bunch of foreigners coming in and you need this. It's about, let's meet each other. Where are you at? What is your point of need? What makes your heart beat? What makes you passionate? What do you, your family, your school, your community, your village, where is that gap and how can we help you bridge that gap in a way that gives dignity, well not gives dignity, ensures dignity, because we were all given dignity and purpose and worth, and just helping people rediscover that regardless of their context, their background, or their financial challenges or education challenges. So just reassuring people of that beautiful godly order of what justice and righteousness looks like, to promote pathways towards equality and equal access to things, and making sure that children are not overlooked, trying to make sure there is a voice for the voiceless. And for those who are not often included in society, and particularly with Asian culture, people with disabilities and things, making sure that, and trying to help as much as possible, gently, slowly but surely, to make sure they can not only participate in what's happening around them, but have that equal opportunity to engage in and change. So we've got lots of big plans for the coming months.
That's right. We've got we're doing some internet safety trainings out in the communities. Kids are more online now, and we know the dangers of kids being online and predators on there. Recently, we just hopped out to a village for the first time in like 18 months, and because of COVID and everything, and we saw a family there who is in need of livestock, and so this livestock helps them to generate income for themselves. So we're not the ones sending their kids to school, but we're helping them get the income so they can have it, so they get dignity, so they get worth when they actually do something. So we're touching base with them, and there was a family there who grandparents are looking after a kid. The mother passed away and the father ran off somewhere and hasn't returned. And so the grandparents are just sobbing there, telling us their story and how this cow will just change their lives.
Yeah. So, that's just a snapshot. Like, we have so much going on, and it's all through relationship. We may not have been able to physically cross borders, but we have believe and still believe firmly in partnership with communities and helping people be the change they want to see. So thank you so much for partnering with us. We look forward to showering you with amazing news, and thank you for your prayers. We are praying for you.
Yeah, definitely. Hope to see you here in Vietnam for some rat on a stick, or there in Vietnam, and there in Melbourne for maybe some pho. All right. Bye, church.
Bye.
Hey everybody, if you don't know me, my name's Andrew, and with my wife and my 2 kids we live in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. We've been living here for almost 7 years now, planting a church that we call the Together Co. So I wanted to give a quick update as well as share just a short thought with you this morning. We've been here for almost 7 years. We live in Phnom Penh, which is the capital city of Cambodia, and we're planting a church. Like everybody, the last couple of years have been pretty crazy. We had a baby in the middle of all that, and we did a lot of online church. So this is kind of normal. Speaking to a camera feels kind of standard these days. That's been up and down, like everybody. But we're excited because we've just started our weekly gatherings in real life again. So that's been really great. We've been able to do that for a few weeks now, starting to see people come back and rebuild community and all of those things. And this week we're actually starting a small group off the back of that. So that's really, really exciting for us, and we appreciate your prayers for that. On a personal note, we're doing well. Aya is 5 now and she's in school, and Noah is almost 11 months old, so he's coming up to a year. which is crazy. The last year has gone so fast, but they're strong, they're healthy, which is really great. And yeah, loving seeing Aya grow up and get involved in church and loving school and all of that is really exciting. So it's been really good. And we are believing for a great 2022. The last couple of years have had their challenges, as I'm sure yours have as well. But we're excited about what's next. We're excited about what's happening. We've got a great venue that we're meeting in. We've got starting to see some of that move forward. So we're really excited for what God's going to do in 2022. And we know that it's not us anyway. He builds his church. And so we're excited to see that and to be a part of that.
Hi Pentecost Church, my name is Grace.
And my name is Leighton.
And we're so thankful for your partnership and support in God's mission and for this opportunity to get to know you.
In just a few weeks' time, our family will be heading over to Indonesia, to the province of East Java, where we'll be going as field workers with Australian Christian Churches International. We are going with the vision to see churches over there strengthened, to see more churches planted, and to see the unreached reached. We'll be going to support the Assemblies of God movement in Indonesia, planting a church over there, and also going to strengthen and equip leaders and pastors of churches. So just a little bit about us.
Leighton and I have been married for 6 years, and we have 2 young children, Abigail and Josiah, who we would love for you to meet at some stage. And for the last few years, we've been pastors at Life Unlimited Church in Canberra, where we most recently led the City Hub.
I'm just finishing up a master's degree at Alpha Christus College, and Grace and I actually have a bit of background in Indonesia. So Grace is Indonesian. I was a missionary kid over there and did my high school over there, and that's where we met and started dating. And it was really as teenagers that we first started having conversations about missions, and over time, and particularly in the last few years, that clarity of calling has really crystallized, and so we're so excited to see what God is going to do over there. So what will we be doing?
Initially, we will be working together with a vibrant church called ICA in the city of Surabaya on the island of Java. ICA is a missions-minded church that is strongly committed to planting new churches across the country, seeing the gospel reach the most remote places, as well as supporting communities through health, education, and disaster relief.
Surabaya is a city of 9 million people, and like the rest of Indonesia, is majority Muslim. It also happens to be Grace's hometown, and for the first 18 months, we have the privilege of pastoring a church campus there, while also using this time to build networks on the ground, support church planting initiatives, and adjust as a family to life in Indonesia. After this time, we will move with the church planting team to the city of Malang, which is an education hub in Indonesia, where we will serve the AOG movement by planting a new church to reach young people and university students in a country with a rapidly growing middle class.
Malang is a city of 3 million people where Leighton went to high school as a missionary kid and where we first met. The purpose of going is not just to plant a church or even a network of churches. Our heart is to grow for God's kingdom and see more people in Indonesia encounter Jesus as their Lord and Savior.
We will be stationed at the doorstep of Indonesia's largest unreached people group, a people group that is considered closed to the gospel. But we recognize that God's heart is for every tongue, tribe, and nation to encounter Him and worship the living God.
We so thank you for your ongoing prayer cover, because we know that prayer changes things. So we would love for you to be praying, especially for our children as we transition into life in a very different country, and also for God to open many opportunities for kingdom encounters there as we settle into a new life there.
Just want to thank you again for your partnership. Thank you, Pastor Matthew, but also to the whole church just for your generosity, as together we believe for God's kingdom to grow across the nations. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Nisi Academy is a non-profit Department of Education accredited school which was founded in 2015 with the goal to be able to provide Siargao with a quality Christ-centered education where every child is loved, accepted and encouraged to explore, inquire and become a lifelong learner. Nisi is a Hebrew word meaning the Lord is our banner. Our Christian perspective underpins all aspects of our learning. We want to equip our students to strive for academic excellence and model Christ-like leadership to influence their homes and the communities for Christ. We are lucky to have such dedicated teachers who really care about the children. They are committed to review and constantly improve their teaching methods so that we can provide engaging and meaningful learning experience for the students.
Nisi is an English-speaking school and we place a large emphasis on reading in early years, starting nursery 1. We believe this gives students a strong foundation to build on. We focus on ensuring that each student processes the information they learn by drawing on familiar concepts that they can relate to their everyday lives.
I like Nisi Academy because we can study and read books. I like Nisi Academy because it's fun to learn. I like Nisi Academy because my teacher is very aggressive. I like Nisi Academy because we have a lot of time to discuss important things and also about God.
We have been very blessed in that we've had teachers from Suncoast Christian College in Australia come and share their teaching methods and knowledge with our teachers. That same school has also helped us develop our early years curriculum, as we want to be sure that we're offering a curriculum that is competitive internationally.
As a teacher here at Nisi, I understand the way in which the child engages with other people and their environment, playing and exploring, learning, creating, and thinking critically underpin learning and development across all areas.
Nisi Academy is a non-profit school. The construction of the school has been made possible by firstly God and through the generous donations of people all around the world. We currently have enough classrooms to offer up to grade 4, and it's our goal to offer up to grade 12, so we still have a long way to go. If you would like to help us reach this goal, please head to our Facebook page for more information. Thank you.
It's all about community, so whenever we can all help each other out, when stuff is bad, everyone just rallies together and gives what they can, does what they can, and we're just blessed and lucky that we had, and thankful that, you know, during the typhoon that our structure was, our ground floor survived and we can use it while we are on Christmas holidays and don't have school right now, for a distribution center.
Jesus, we ask for more help for Siargao Island and for its locals, and we help give us strength to distribute to all those, and the spirit of fairness remains in everybody. Lord, we ask for your help, continued help throughout this disaster, in Jesus Christ's mighty name. Amen.
Nisi Academy has taken over all the operations that were at Greenhouse, And so yeah, so greenhouse was really good for the first week and a half, I think, or 2 weeks. They had everything there running out of greenhouse, and then we took over.
Just to try to share the load a bit of those distributing it. I know James and the whole greenhouse crew over there, a list of like volunteers have been working like 10 hours a day for 7 days now, and their exhaustion starting to set in for those people who are actually running these aids. We work together and share the load, things become less. If you can, you should, and I hope more people throughout Siargao can open their places to help the community a little bit like this.
We'll be heading to 4 municipalities today in the morning. We're going to be going to Dapa and visiting 5 barangays there. Driving along the road and see like a house there on the side. Stop.
As long as you agree with the captain and the DSWD officer there, I'm pretty sure like
we want to get as much as we can out to the islands as well, weather permitting. We've had some bad weather lately, so it's really hampering those efforts to get it out to the islands. But yeah, we're really hoping that we've got so much to give, and yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Hello everyone at Pentecost Church. Thank you for this opportunity to be with you today. I'm John Davidson, and Jenny and I, we're over here in Carnarvon in Western Australia sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Let me share a scripture with you this morning. It comes from Romans chapter 5 verse 17. It says, "How much more will those who receive God's abundant provision of grace and of the gift of righteousness reign in life through the one man, Jesus Christ?" And what an amazing message of hope that we have to share. That is that through Jesus that all of our sins are removed, and that we can be made right with God, that we're not guilty anymore, and that all the charges that were against us have been dropped. And it's just so beautiful to watch people who experience God's love and just see the freedom that comes into their life, the joy and the peace that comes into their heart, and the change that happens in their life. What a joy that is to see. Probably one of the saddest things that we've seen is people making poor choices and missing out on all that God has for them. And it's so hard and to watch. But we keep praying, and we thank you for your prayers, and we thank you for your commitment to seeing God working over here in this part of the world. So we want to say thank you today as we continue to serve Jesus together. So God bless you all today.